Hello, Park Grove folks. My name's Andy Aiken. Actually, a renter looking to potentially purchase the home we're here in Park Grove, but we moved in about a year and a half ago, and so this house I think was built in 2006, I believe, by KB Homes. As I understand it, I wasn't definitely wasn't an original here. I wanted to kind of show you something I found today. I actually saw this once before, repaired it, figuring it was a one-off, but over time I've noticed it's a problem. So every single one of the light switches here probably needs to be replaced. I would definitely recommend calling an electrician to have your electrical work inspected. Now, I'm an electrical engineer. I'm not an electrician per se. But if you're not comfortable with this kind of work, always it's better to choose a professional. So this is your standard light switch, on-off, came with the house, gray body. They all seem to have the same part number. Now this one is actually in reasonably good external shape. There's no cracks, no dark spots from arcing. Yeah, I just replaced it because it was all in a box, and I was putting some other hardware in a box to integrate it with home security, and so it just got replaced. But the rest of the switches in the box and one in a different box were problematic. Now, get that in focus. You see here's a crack in the body of the switch. We're going to suffice it to say that's really not a positive, and any switch in this condition needs to be replaced. What it leads to over time is this right here. This little piece is broken off. That's the piece right there. As you can see, I've got 3 different switches where this happened. It wasn't completely broken off and falling off, but in the box, it looked like it was a flap off to the side. The reason that's important is because this little hole back here, there's that one on the right with the copper wire still in it, and the one on the left here, is how most wires are retained in. It's a quicker way of installing wires for electricians when they do whole houses versus individually using the screws here. This is a real negative. If that wire slips out, and it is the hot wire, so the hot wire coming from the electrical box, not the wire that goes out to the load or the light, that can basically leave you a unshielded, unprotected live wire floating around in your electrical box. That's a source for shock, that's a source for fire. It's not a positive thing. Now, one thing I wanted to point out here, the switch that was good, you'll see here is USA in the lower left-hand corner, but this one also is USA and it has the small crack in it. But all 3 of the ones that fail completely have a made in China. Now, I have looked these things over. I've compared them to pretty much every manufacturer I know. I don't see a logo that tells me that this is like a Leviton or a Pass and Seymour, Eaton, any of the companies that are fairly common to hear around that industry. So they're really just a cheap switch, probably bought in bags of 100 or something like that. Again, here we have another switch where the same thing has happened. So this little thing should usually act as a spring to hold the wire in, and you have to actually push in like a special tool in there to get it to pop out or screw in, but again, it's out there. And then again on this third one. Now this third one didn't come from the same box. This came from my kitchen box. And the reason I wanted to call this one out is because I want you to see this this blackness here. That is not dirt. That is the official term is called arcing. That means that there is a not a short, but basically electricity is jumping between connectors that don't have a good connection. Now that could be because this little bugger was doing its thing and wasn't connecting well, and so basically every time you turn the switch on or off, you were causing electricity to kind of have to do some funky stuff. The reason arcing is important, though, is, and I don't want people to panic, again, this is something you just need to get checked out by a local qualified electrician. If you're comfortable with doing electrical work, definitely all these parts are available at Home Depot. But anyway, arcing. Arcing is bad. Arcing leads to heat. I'd known this switch was a little bit flaky since we painted. I did get some paint on there, me being bad at painting sometimes, but just in a rush. But I'd known just this switch for a long time, having this dark marking, and also sometimes, and this is the exact same thing the one in my bathroom upstairs did. If you'd move it slowly, you'd kind of hear it crack like before it turned on, and then sometimes you turn it on and it just wouldn't come on. Actually, looking at this right now, I see this may be a Pass and Seymour branded switch. So very disappointing, since they're usually considered a pretty reputable vendor. Again, though, yeah, I could wonder if this wasn't maybe like a knockoff, honestly, because just the low quality of the body and everything like that. Back to arcing one last time. Sorry, I've kind of gone off on a tangent, and then I'll let you go back to your day. Arcing causes heat. Heat causes fires. Be very careful. If you do have any switches in this condition, I would definitely recommend having an electrician out to inspect and replace them immediately, if not sooner. This is something serious. The failure here, definitely also something that needs to be checked. If it's been static there for 10 years and your house isn't moving, you're not moving around the wires, it's not going to just immediately out of the blue start flailing around a hot wire, but it's definitely something you want to get checked out. Again, this is just neighbor to neighbor stuff. I'm an electrical engineer, but not an electrician. Just get it checked out. Be safe. I don't want to see anybody lose their home and their possessions to just some bad construction. So everybody have a good holiday, and feel free to PM me on Facebook if you have any questions.